Today is November 19th, and we are talking off-season plans. Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy, Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steam and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy, and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy, and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks. Thank you very much for joining us today. Today's episode, as always, is brought to you by SeatGeek, where you can use code YANKS15 and get 15% off your next order. Doesn't matter how many times you've bought tickets using SeatGeek before, Yanks15 is going to get you 15% off your next order. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. BBD is in the corner. How you doing, Jake?
James Davis, I'm doing well as the offseason starts to trickle along. The Juan Soto rumors and articles are becoming more and more. He's doing like dinners and stuff, so hey, maybe we start getting some significant movement on that soon. We might not, but either way, I'm excited to daydream a little bit, Jimmy, because, you know, in our office, we have a lot of Yankee fans, and there's a lot of, hey, should we get this guy? Should we get that guy? Do they fit? And, you know, we came up with our plans, which were both perfect, but I'm excited to hear some other people's plans, and I don't know. I think there's going to be some ideas we look at and we like, and there's going to be some, I don't know if we're going to be mean to anyone, but some we might not like.
Might be mean. Who cares? It's just baseball talk. We've got 7 submitted proposals. So if you didn't listen to the last episode, you are getting Juan Soto. These are Juan Soto plans. And you have to spend around $300 million. You can't go over $300 million. And then we used all of the like online projected numbers basically to build it. You can't say, no, I'm going to give this guy and I'm going to get him at a discount.
Right.
So people played along, which made it more fun because I think we've seen some, and I think we might get to some that are like, well, that's crazy.
Right.
I think there's some, I just read one and I was like, that's rational. I like this. I'm going to be surprised by the rest. So I'm excited. We got 7 to get into. Some might chew on for a while. Some might be quick. Like this preview of the next Blitzball Battle 5 game.
Blitzball Battle 5, a pair of winless teams going at it, trying to avoid playing in that loser's bracket, if you will. Team Baggage has never beaten Del Caribe. How are they going to get it done later today?
Well, I think they gained a lot of confidence in their last matchup despite the loss. One thing you can take with absolute certainty is somebody is leaving with a win from this one.
So Baggage hit the ball exceptionally well. They came up on the short end of the stick in their first game of the season. Del Caribe did not get a single hit against Forgotten Rotten.
Different matchup here today.
If we go back to every single tournament played in the warehouse, I think I've taken Team Baggage at every game they've played. They do not want that skunk patch.
I don't think I've got one right so far, so I'm going to go ahead and pick Del Caribe.
Why not?
Just to help you out, Kels, so that way everybody's happy.
I got Team Baggage. Stupidly, I picked them to win the entire tournament. I don't know what it is. I think I'm a moron. We will see later today. We continue Blitzball Battle 5.
All right. The first one we got is from Auto Rocket, which I already like. Auto Rocket 23. As far as the arbitration eligible guys, he is retaining everyone besides Meza, Trevino, and Birdie. He says he's not a fan of 2 soft tissue injuries and a hip flexor injury for a 35-year-old utility player who bases his game off of speed. And you know what? That's fair, I think. Also not sold on Brubaker, so he's out. So that's money he's ditching. We didn't ditch Trevi or Birdie. And then starting pitching, not touching. He says if they can move Stroman, he would, but he doesn't think they will. He is a Soto 46 mil. That's part of it. And then he also has Christian Walker. And he says, to be honest, I want him as bad as I want to retain Soto. I want Soto more than Walker, but I'm pretty in lockstep with him there. Then he says, sign Carson Kelly to back up Wells. His catching value is actually good per Baseball Savant. Nice platoon against lefties for Wells. 812 OPS versus lefties for his career. And if they aren't going to be able to really load up with Soto's money, then why not get a player for the same money that doesn't make the catcher position a potential game-changing weakness 46 games. So he's got other moves, but what do you think about Carson Kelly? It's the first time that came up.
So I'm interested. Obviously, like Trevino's throwing stuff, we saw how that developed through the season and became a problem. Although, again, the Yankees and how they control the running game is a bigger thing there. I guess for me, I would have to know just a little bit more about the catcher market in general, because there's a couple catchers out there that hit lefties. And so is that $3 million price tag going to be the price tag? Is it going to be a little more than that? Are we competing with other teams? If we're not, then yes, I'm open to that. Like the money Trevi's going to be getting, if there's a catcher that's a better fit, I'm about it. Just looking at the catcher free agent market, if you don't get your guy, then I just don't know where you're at,
Yeah. And I don't know how much of a discount it is from Trevi, right?
Yeah, like Trevi's projection is 3.4. This guy, don't know if it's based on crowdsource projections for Carson Kelly's deal, but 3.4 to 3 flat in here is like, was all that movement worth saving $400K? It might be.
And like Carson Kelly, those lefty stats from last year is 13 hits. So he didn't play a lot. So I guess for the catcher position, because we've talked about this, and if it's there, it's there. And you go get a guy with Austin Wells getting the everyday starts, go get your guy that mashes lefties. Although Trevino, again, his career numbers against lefties are pretty good. If you don't want to make that, actually, I guess that was my final landing spot. I know how the Yankees work, that they get distracted by needing to check the box, that I think they could accidentally have their catching position, their backup catcher, be worse than Trevino, and then I'm not happy.
Yeah. And it is. Yeah. I don't know if it's worth it. Like the last two seasons,
Could be.
Carson Kelly wins out in all like slash line and in similar plate appearances, combined 2023 and 2024, but it's not at any cost that now he's good. Like going from a 611 OPS to a 647 OPS at backup catcher. I don't know. So,
and the other thing I'd say there is with Austin Wells being a lefty young starting catcher, Carson Kelly might have like better opportunities for Carson Kelly too. Like if the Yankees and another team both throw a 3-5, but Carson Kelly's going to be like, yeah, you're going to be out there half the time. Like he's not going to have that with the Yankees. So
the only way I'd do that is
if
Kelly's a free agent.
Kelly's a free agent.
If like a team comes asking for Trevino, then you do that.
Yes.
If you can get,
something
trade
for him and less money.
Yeah.
And
I like that.
All right. Next up, he says sign Jorge Polanco.
Sure.
8.75. He was part of your plan. And then relief pitching. This is where it gets interesting, Jake. Bring back Tim Hill. 1.5 mil. Sign David Robertson. 8 mil. I don't think that's going to happen because they kind of left on bad terms, so to speak. Maybe, whatever.
it's been a while.
The big move. Trade Trent Grisham plus random prospect for Camilo Doval. Doval's pretty good.
Yeah, so Duvall had this is where we've fallen into the Yankee trap, and every fan base does this, so I won't call it the Yankee trap, but Camilo Doval had a bad year last year, his first bad year. ERA-wise, he had a 4.88 ERA. He got sent down briefly because he was struggling, and the Yankees kind of started that. Remember the Soto homer? That awesome, that's one of the, I'd say it was like a top 7 moment from the season. For me, this is just Yankees because this would be the San Francisco Giants trading Camilo Doval at his lowest value. Last year, he led the NL in saves with a 2.93 ERA, a lot more strikeouts than innings pitched. He did that again, and like his FIP is still there. That I heard the name Camilo Doval brought up in our office, Joe's McFly, and he's going to have a real price tag. / the Giants aren't going to trade him at his lowest value right now. He's not a free agent until 2028. So why would they trade the all-world talented reliever for Trent Grisham, who at this point is essentially a salary dump for us, and I know we listed random prospect, but Yeah, you got to pump the brakes there.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? To auto rocket, like I'd like that,
Right.
but I don't think it's realistic.
I get
because
why you
Trent
thought it.
Grisham isn't like
In my
Doval's like 4 years of Doval and a year of Grisham. It does not. It's not even close to adding up.
Right. That's where because I used a similar concept. I said, hey, Trent Grisham, the $5 million semi-regular outfielder, can be of value to a team. Where if we're taking a reliever from a team who's making $3 million, that money swap can make more sense for them. But I mean, Doval, there's also still something to relievers in name value, and he has that and all of the talent in the world that you're not getting him for a discount price. You need to get him for real assets. And San Francisco wants to win next year, so they wouldn't be selling Doval at his lowest value.
And I'll give him that. San Francisco, the word there is they are trying to move off some of the bigger ARB figures like him and Lamont Wade and stuff, but that doesn't mean just a dump. Getting something and having to pay less total money.
Yeah.
And this specific trade, you'd be assuming they're just trying to get off $4.6 million for Doval, and you're giving them a higher salary for a guy they have currently less use for.
Yeah.
The sinker got hit hard. Yeah. All right. I like the new names. I like the thought process.
Yeah.
Carson Kelly and Trevino. Again, I think if someone calls, because Trevino had more WAR than him over the last 2 years. So if someone comes asking for Trevino, sure. I don't think that's happening either, though.
Yeah, the backup catcher position in theory should be available. I think we all got gun shy from it because there's not necessarily a great option or the perfect option. And it's just more work for probably nothing.
Yeah. I like bringing back Tim Hill. I like D-Rob.
My favorite part of this was we said you can go up to $300 million.
Mm-hmm.
They left $91K.
Nice.
So
really did it.
I like how they budgeted.
Yeah, that means no trade deadline.
Fans
Or it's more or less equal money in parts of trades, or
makes
or
it
21 where they paid extra prospects to have them pay the guy.
If you don't stash up, if you don't keep some, trade deadline gets harder. Let's move to submission number 2 real quick.
Who's it from?
Brad's E-fart is how I'm
I'm not
choosing
sure. You'd assume it's Brad or Brad's.
I mean, if his name is Brad Safart, and that's his last name, that's tough.
Brad Safart.
Okay, so he has. Did he put this in a spreadsheet for us?
It's B Rad's E Fart.
Nice. He used our spreadsheet. So he's dumping Mesa. Tough. Dumping Grisham.
Sure.
Trying to trade Trevino or dumping him. It looks like he took that money off.
Ultimately, his money won't be there one way or another.
And he is getting Soto, 46 mil.
Good.
Oh, a Christian Walker,
Yep.
20 mil. Nice. And then Tim Hill. Well, he's paying Tim Hill 3 mil. The last guy was 1.5.
Yeah.
And then let's see what's different here. Ryan McMahon.
Yeah.
Package of prospects. Maybe Jones. Big trade for Ryan McMahon. I don't think you're going to do, because Ryan McMahon is good, but he doesn't grade out as an Arenado big trade.
Yes and no. I mean, he finishes between 2.5 and 3 WAR every season. Again, I think the metrics, some of the advanced metrics, hurt him from playing at Rocky Stadium, Coors Field even. And yeah, his contract is a lot less than Arenado's. But no, I mean, hey, I was on the Ryan McMahon daydream boat. The problem is you're dealing with the Rockies. So, and if they were willing to trade Ryan McMahon, I don't actually think you'd need a Spencer Jones type package. I think you could kind of give them a hodgepodge of 3 or 4 prospects, because he does get paid like a starting MLB third baseman, and his numbers aren't crazy. He's just good.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be a nice addition, but I don't know. I'm fine going to trade for him. I don't know if it's what you use your biggest chips on.
No, I don't think you'd need to.
Yeah. All right. So he gets $12 million. McMahon.
12, 16, 16 in his upcoming contracts.
And then Devin Williams. So he's doing a lot of relief because he's getting Devin Williams, only 1 year left, and Brewers love the trade, guys. Small trade. I do think that they're going to try and trade Devin Williams. It seems like something that the Brewers would do at this point. He's making $8 million. I don't know what it would cost. Like what did they trade Burns for, and what did they trade Hader for? MLB guys or like triple A guys? Because if they want, usually the Brewers want pitching,
right?
And the Yankees do not have pitching in their farm system. I don't think the Yankees and Brewers have ever been a trade match because they build their farms differently.
For like major trades.
Yeah, because the Brewers like stocking pitchers because they have a really good pitching development program, and then they go get their hitters like Rhys Hoskins, like just gets one and dones, two and dones, McCutchen for a year, Rowdy, they get all these drag and drop guys on offense for a year.
Yeah, a little bit. They fill their holes. They operate differently than the Yankees. I think you could say that on the whole. The Hader trade was it was a good pitching prospect and a good hitting prospect at the time. Gasser and Estuary Ruiz, some people might remember from your speed drafts. But they also got a fill-in for him at the time. It was Taylor Rogers, and they got a flyer on Dinelson Lamet. So that was a year and a half of Hader. The other thing that the relief trade market, and it's where I'd want people to just be hesitant, the Padres might have screwed everything up because the prices they paid for Tanner Scott and Jason Adam for half a year of Tanner Scott. They have Jason Adam coming back. I didn't realize that. But they paid real price tags. And I think what's happening around baseball, the more and more front offices are realizing, except for the elite prospects are prospects. Like, more prospects are getting traded, and I think the price tags for things like that have gone up, that if you're going to trade for a full season of Devin Williams or Helsley, like, I have I have Spencer Jones closer to being involved in one of those deals than Ryan McMahon.
Yes. Yeah. And Devin Williams and the Burns trade they got from the Orioles, DL Hall, a pitcher, lefty pitcher who had already been in the big leagues, and then they got Joey Ortiz, a utility infielder who had already been in the big leagues. So the Brewers kind of like guys that are ready to play.
They're here to compete.
Yeah. Put them right in the system. So I don't know if the Yankees are a good trade match for them there, unless they
want Dominguez,
Peraza, Everson.
Pereira.
I'm not doing Dominguez for.
Not for 1 year.
I think the Brewers would ask.
Yeah.
That might be all you have that they like.
Getting Devin Williams would be cool. I just don't know if they're a fit trade-wise, but it would be. I would enjoy that. And then he's got $4 million where he's just some vet bench piece.
Yeah, I respected that part of the art. It's not like they gave up, but they were just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something here. Something slightly different here would make me feel better.
I don't like even with Williams, I don't really like the reliever that he's built. Our guy, Brad Fart. Because we got...
What name was that?
You got Hamilton, Efros, Brubaker.
They listed
as
the bullpen pretty weird.
Yeah, I guess because it just did the add-ons. So Williams and Hill would go up top.
Yeah. Cousins, yeah.
Yeah.
That does help.
And just for the people that don't know, again, prospects ratings was quick, blah, blah, blah. For Tanner Scott, and they got another reliever in that trade, Brian Hoeing, who was like on the team, so they part of it. They traded their number 2 prospect, the Padres, Robbie Snelling. He was 44th overall on a list. And this is a half-year rental, along with their number 4 and their number 5 prospects.
Yeah.
So, again, maybe this was a Padres overpay, and, like, that's not the standard market, but especially Williams, Helsley, like, those kind of guys, you're giving up real pieces.
Yankees don't have a top 10 overall prospect. Spencer Jones is number 1 in their org, and he's 20th overall on Fangraphs. They have 4 top 100. Will Warren. Maybe they want Will Warren. Turn him into a new pitcher.
We're going to find out if the Yankees There will be Will Warren offers, or is Will Warren our 7th starter?
I mean, I like the additions of Walker, McMahon, and Soto there.
Yeah. Hey, I pushed the Ryan McMahon agenda last year. He plays really good defense, and his swing fits the porch. And again, I think his overall, some of the nerd number, OPS plus and things like that, get hurt more for him being at Coors.
All right.
They drag the plus down.
I think he's very streaky, so that's my other concern.
I think this plan, one of the trades is going to work, one isn't, but I think it's more likely than the other plan, trading for Doval. Trading Grisham for
That
Doval was
trade for
not
Doval.
really likely. And they maxed out the $300 million in the first plan. We're going to take a quick break and then come back with the next 5.
You know what we all need more of? Getting off our ass. With bold flavors and a refreshing citrus kick, Mountain Dew will get you off your ass and having you feel like you're on top of an actual mountain. A mountain where the weather is always perfect, your friends are ready to hang, and a day of epic proportions awaits. Whether you're playing some pickup football, whether you're playing some blitzball in our warehouse, maybe a little slap ball, the mountain is calling and you should answer. Grab your friends, grab an ice-cold Mountain Dew wherever refreshing beverages are sold, and do the do.
All right, submission number 3, John Dessenberger. Some familiar, wow, this has got some big names just on the summary. Okay, here we go. Trading Stroman, retaining 40% salary.
Sure.
Non-tendering Meza and Grisham. And this is a big one, Jake. Signing Yusei Kikuchi, 2 to 3 year deal worth $15 million AAV. Isn't he going to get way more than that?
I think so, but not obtusely. Fangraphs just came out with their projections today. It's a little above that, but
what does
Not
Fangraphs
completely
have?
out of
I'm
the
so
air,
excited
yeah.
for their projections. That's so silly of me.
let's see. Starting pitchers.
18 AAV.
3 years, 54.
Okay. I'd like him, I think. I don't know. Lefty.
He's got good velo. He has
Familiar
arm
with the
talent.
division.
You like to bank on that.
Is that
He was
too
good
many
against the
lefties?
Yankees.
Yeah, he's good against
He
you.
throws that puff ball, which I don't know. We haven't seen any Yankees do that, so I'm worried about that.
And he says Nestor isn't needed. His overall value is still good enough to get a return. So he's going to trade Nestor. So now Yusei and Rodon are the lefties. Nestor's traded.
Sure.
Sign Christian Walker
Yeah.
to a 3-year, $21 million AAV. And then he's trading for Devin Williams again. Should be a top 10 prospect at least. Chase Hampton comes to mind with maybe Nestor in this trade. That's not a crazy path. I mean, okay, I don't know if the Brewers might say no right away, but like major league pitcher with years left that can go to the rotation if they think they can improve and build upon Nestor, and then just like the
There's values to innings.
yeah.
There's values
Yes.
to innings. And, you know, Nestor's ERA landed in what we kind of thought Nestor's ERA would be at the end of the season. It just kind of came in a weird way. Devin Williams for the Brewers are just good at tapping into pitching that I don't know for Devin Williams, Chase Hampton, and Nestor. It's an interesting return.
Yeah.
There's been crazier things.
Then he's going to trade for Arenado.
Sure.
And he says it should be able to get done with relative ease. Top 6 through 7 prospects in exchange for Arenado, whose contract is $21 million, $60 million, $15 million. Cardinals retaining maybe 20%. I don't know if relative ease comes to mind when you're trading in contracts like that and taking on money and not money, and we're not. Who are we trading?
If you're taking all the money for sure, it's easier.
And do you want Arenado at that price point for the years remaining?
Yeah, Nolan Arenado's trickier than probably the name leads on. I mean, St. Louis has been a weird place to play the last couple years. But the past 2 years, like if you didn't know the name and you didn't know the defense, which is unfair, but if you looked at his offensive stats through the years, you'd say, well, the last 2 years he was 32 and 33, and his offense took a tick down, a significant tick down. I like Nolan Arenado. I love third base defense. Talking Yanks listeners know that. If Nolan Arenado ends up on the Yankees, I'll be all about it. I think there's better fits for Nolan Arenado, and there just might be better ways for the Yankees to use their money. But
It'd still be like he had them taking 30% or something like that, so it'd still be $22 million for Nolan around.
Yeah, I mean he is.
Less
the
than
Rockies. The Rockies are paying. Some.
Oh, okay.
The Rockies are paying $5 million for the next 2 years, so it's a Stanton situation a little bit.
And his descends, so his luxury tax is a complicated number to fully calculate. That we'll cross that bridge if we get there. But
This goes to $299 million. So you got Arenado, Walker, Soto returns. I mean, I like that he added a starter, he added a reliever, and then he added the offense. I don't know if Arenado, I'm in on that. If you get Soto and Walker, I don't think you need to take on Arenado for that money. Like, I'd rather find a McMahon or another.
Or one more reliever and have wiggle room during the season.
I guess my fear would be, I know they are improved players, but coming into the season with a 34-year-old third baseman and a 34-year-old first baseman.
Yeah. Old Susan Waldman advice.
With 3-year contracts.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that one didn't get me going as much as the others.
Like I know injuries and people treat their bodies differently, et cetera, et cetera. Rizzo just turned 35.
Baseball ages you. Sports age you quick.
If you hey, this is, I was going to say a fun exercise for people at home. It's not. If you can, on Baseball Reference, you can click on their birth year. So DJ LeMahieu was born in 88. Of the position players to play who were born in 1988 last year, I don't think anyone broke one WAR.
Damn.
You
mean infielders?
Position players. So these are, I'll read them off quick. These are the position players who were born in 1988 last year. Kurt Casale, Adam Duvall, Yasmani Grandal, DJ LeMahieu, Starling Marte, Tommy Pham, Fiend.
Damn.
So it's just one of those things like we have in our heads, like late 30s. If, people can play into their late 30s. Some of the stars, yes, and even them, no. So I don't know. I'm getting more weary of age.
As you get older.
Right? Ain't that how it works?
Lonnie Chisenhall, he was born in 1988.
Yeah, did he play last year?
No, he hasn't played since 2018.
I was going to say.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Really some strong years with the Guards.
Dallas Keuchel, he played last year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next plan. Plan number 4. Victor Giraldez. He sends in, he says, "Hey guys, my name is Victor Giraldez, and I'm a huge Talkin Yanks fan, even bigger Yankees fan."
Yeah, dude.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Hope you enjoy my offseason plan. I will link my Google spreadsheet in a separate comment. This is the order of operations. I like this. I like the structure that Victor is offering. Non-tender, Meza, and Grisham. This gives us more money to play with, and I don't think these guys will get much run on the team next year, so I choose to cut them. Fair. Re-sign Soto and acquire Christian Walker. Has every plan we've read had those
So far, everyone's been a Walker plan. Has me a little nervous.
And if memory serves, we'll double check as these submissions go on. That's not a trend that's ending with this one.
Yeah. I'm
like
in
Christian Walker, and he's a free agent.
Okay, then trade number 1. Marlins. They get Nestor, Everson Pereira, Chase Hampton, and Scott Efros. So that's a haul. Yankees get Jesus Luzardo and Calvin Fowler.
Excuse me?
What middle reliever?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, there's a weird designation. There's a couple quirks in this sheet that are interesting.
Yankees get Marlins to take on Nestor's contract. He gets to play at home. Yankees send Hampton and others to
Calvin Fauché.
To Assuage. What's that word?
Assuage.
Assuage? Honestly, I'd never seen this word before. I'm excited.
Offset.
Make less intense. Satisfy. Wow. The cost of acquiring 3 years of Luzardo and 5 of Faucher.
Fauché.
Fauché. Luzardo's a rotation depth piece with the potential of being an ace. He is worth the price, and the Yankees get a couple years to mess with his arsenal. I mean, that's I like that trade, I think, Jake.
Yeah, I got some bad news.
I don't think the Marlins like that.
Yes, the first line saying Nestor gets to play at home. That's not a sell for Miami.
Oh,
That's not a sell for Miami.
You never know.
Also saying Jesus Luzardo is rotation depth and then following with the potential to be an ace. The Marlins are going to sell Luzardo as potential to be an ace, not rotation depth. So I personally don't think, and they said the acquiring 3 years of Luzardo and 5 of Fauché.
It would be 2 years of Luzardo.
I don't have the Marlins super interested in this deal. But at the same time, it
would only be 2 years of Luzardo.
I could see it not being.
I think if they're trading Luzardo,
Right.
that package probably needs to get bigger somewhere, but I'm not crazy if it is close. It needs to get bigger somewhere.
I mean, they supposedly originally liked Peraza, so it could this be the scrap heap trade of Peraza Pereira? The problem is other teams know that these guys have moved from Yankees top prospects to Yankees
Yes.
trash heap.
Yes.
So
It's far from like the most absurd starting point.
there
proposal,
could there be
but-
something in the realm here for Jesus Luzardo with Chase Hampton, Peraza Pereira? Yes. The other details, I get it. We're all playing a game here, so I don't want to super poo-poo this one.
Yeah. And it looks like our guy Fauché, he got some higher leverage innings last year.
Okay.
53 games this year.
Yeah, he's from Chula Vista. I don't hate a Luzardo trade if they do that. But they're going to need to give some. I mean, I would do that trade.
You'd have to shake up the parts a little bit.
I would do that trade for sure.
I like the line in the Luzardo trade blurb he wrote said about Fauché. Plus, he's a former Ray, so he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He knows.
I actually saw his baseball reference and I was like, oh, right, cool, that's good. Trade number 2 with the Phillies. Marcus Stroman, Spencer Jones, Antonio Gomez, and Rock Riggio
My guy.
for Matt Strahm and Alec Boehm.
Philly's eating some money on it.
I double checked the math. I believe what he meant by that is that money is all Stroman money. So Yankees would be eating $4 million of Stroman's 18.5.
Oh, they're saying the Yankees would eat $4 million of Stroman. I see what they're doing.
It took me a minute at first because it's
Yeah, Phillies are covering
Phrase funny,
80%
YouTube
of
comment.
Stroman's deals. Okay, Strahm has been a really strong reliever.
Yeah,
Lefty.
Yeah, good year last year.
He's a gross hair guy and a beard guy, so nervous about that. Alec Boehm is on the trade market. Supposedly the Phillies are in on Bregman, or the third base is kind of the position they could shake up, and Alec Boehm does have value. I don't know if that's where you want to play your Spencer Jones card, if you're going to play your Spencer Jones card.
I don't know if
And I don't
Spencer
think the Phillies
Jones
want
gets
Stroman.
Yeah, I don't know if Spencer Jones is value enough to get that with Stroman.
Yeah, I don't think the Phillies like this.
Yeah, because I like it. But we're Yankees fans making trades
Right.
for Yankees fans. But yeah, I don't know who Antonio Gomez or Rock Riggio are.
Rock Riggio.
I remember that name.
Yeah, that name sticks out. Was he drafted out of Oklahoma State? That's the only thing I
Think
have in
so.
my head.
like depending on which organizational prospect list you like. I've seen both of them listed in top 10s organizationally before, which isn't anything crazy, obviously, but
I'm interested, kind of like Luzardo, and this is good players on the trade block. I am interested in 2 years of Alec Boehm, I guess. He was like a vacuum at third with all the, I don't even know if all-day defense, but when I did my line drives, he catches the most he's tall. Tall, yeah.
Yeah, that's
it's on drive.
I think the Yankees front office for Boehm's defense at third base and what they think Jazz could be, I think they'd scoff at this. Like, I think they think Jazz is an athletic phenom. I think Boehm is someone who struggles to survive at third. That Yeah, and I just don't think the Phillies really want prospects or to eat Stroman. They kind of have Taijuan Walker right now, who's their version of Marcus Stroman that they're trying to get off.
Yeah, and they want guys that are going to help them win.
Yeah.
But as a Yankee fan, I like it. And then he has Yankees acquiring Nathan Eovaldi, 3 years, $60 million.
Sure. I think that might even be high.
I like adding Eovaldi just because I like adding intensity
Gumption.
and the guy that's done it, playoffs. Yeah, all that shit.
Could go to the bullpen if he's not having his best year and give you something.
Yeah.
Yeah, open on the Eovaldi train. Open on the Luzardo train. Again, I think you have to shake that up a little bit. Bohm and Strom for the Yankees, I'm not super into.
This was all the same. Those two trades are the same thing.
Which two trades?
The Strom, Alec Bohm, and Luzardo.
Yeah.
I like the new thinking there. That's a lot. That's
a
a
lot.
huge offseason.
It's a lot.
A lot of moving parts. Tapped out all the money and killed the farm.
What would George do?
Eovaldi, what did Fangraph say he's going to get? Let me see.
I would
They
guess
said
2 years.
3 for $60.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much. That seems it's very thought out, but it's just a lot of moves. A ton of moves.
It's a lot of action.
Brought to you by Mando Starter Pack. It's perfect for new customers or to secure some last-minute stocking stuffers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping. Luckily, we have a discount code to help you get hooked on our favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code YANKS at shopmando.com. shopmando.com. Don't let BO keep you on the bench. Smell better naked with Mando. Next up, Nick Accardi. This is number 5. First, he's going to trade Stroman to St. Louis for JoJo Romero. But we will eat $11 million of Stroman's contract. So that means he's got 18, right? So
It's a hefty chunk.
So
That's
they'd
eating
be
a lot.
taking on 7.5 if Stroman's 18.5.
St. Louis would be taking on $7 million for Stroman.
Yeah.
And again, we'd be getting JoJo Romero, who's a lefty reliever with 3 years left. He fits the Wandy, the Litke,
That's good.
the bill for the Yankees. Go get those guys.
He might be too good for the Yankees to go get, though.
Yeah, it's true. Then Nick is trading Grisham, Clark Schmidt, whoa, Spencer Jones, and George Lombard, whoa,
Your guys.
for Mason Miller and Hogan Harris? No fucking way. No way am I trading all that for 2 relievers.
Yeah, and I think the Oakland would say keep Clark and Grisham.
Is this the first trade that we're giving too much? That we've from our people?
I think both sides are a little freaked out. I think Oakland's like, why are you giving us Clark Schmidt? And we don't want Grisham. Could Spencer Jones and George Lombard get you Mason Miller and Hogan Harris? I think so. It's a real price tag.
So probably like the 2 biggest likely trade chips you have.
Yeah. You're basically just saying you have to eat Grisham's contract, but you're going to get George Lombard and Spencer Jones and Clark Schmidt. But it's for 2 relievers.
Yeah, I mean, here's what I'll say. I think so let's take out Trent for now because that's his own thing. I'll even take out Clark for now because I think that's a separate conversation. Spencer Jones for George Lombard for Mason Miller and Hogan Harris, that might be an actual price. But I think the tone in your voice is like, wait, we're going to use our chips for that?
Yeah, I wouldn't use our chips.
But this is kind of what I was saying about the Padres trades. Like, this is what they paid.
I'm not knocking Mason Miller, but relievers are so vital.
Right.
Doval went to the minors. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
It's crazy.
This feels like when we heard they started Mason Miller talks that they asked for both, and then we spend 2 weeks talking about, like, can we get them to take just one of them?
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say. I think that's actually a real price tag.
Yeah.
And if it happened pending every other move, I could be fine with it. Like, Mason Miller's supposed to be special, and the strikeout numbers are there, and like
They came out and said they're not trading him, right?
they've said
That was Rooker.
They've said that.
They said they're not trading Rooker, like, officially. Okay, then he's signing Pete Alonso in free agency, 7 years, $182 million, 26 a year. 7 years for Pete.
I think that's a little high.
That's high.
He wants to lock him in, you know?
You want to be the team that gets Pete.
And we signed Sean Manaea for 20 a year, probably 3 for 60. Whoa.
So let's see. Alonso's current projected, which I do, if I had to take an over-under on this, I would take the over. They have him projected to get 5 years, 125. I think a team's going to give the 6, which would be 6, 150. We'll see. We don't know. And then Manaea, Manaea's projected to do pretty decent this free agency, but I still think that number's a little high. They have Manaea projected 3 for 60.
I don't like this offseason.
Yeah, this is heat and meat, man. To bring in Mason Miller and Alonso on the back end, I'm assuming this person, they have Judge.
I want relievers. Like, I do want to add to the bullpen, but I don't want to do all of that.
Yeah, again, if you're going to trade Jones or Dominguez, I think we'd want to see
Starting pitcher with years.
starting pitcher or position player that you're like, hey, that's our guy.
Building around him.
I'll say if that were to happen and a lot of the other pieces of my offseason fell into place, dude, to be able to like look at Luke Weaver and Mason Miller to end a ball game,
Oh, yeah.
that's a feeling we kind of haven't had in a little bit.
Right now, that feels real good.
I think I'd rather spend big money like the AAV. I'd rather Evaldi than Manaea. I'd rather go get a pitcher that's going to bring some personality, energy, and like don't fuck around.
Manaea's got a little of that. Manaea was really good last year.
A guy that's won a World Series and is going to hold people accountable.
Sure.
And have that winning edge.
You just know for sure you have that in Evaldi.
I've just been reading the Yankee years.
Right.
And, Cashman went out and got Roger Clemens because he thought they were going to be complacent after winning 3 out of 4. And he wanted someone who's never won and wanted to, like, fucking keep everyone in line. So.
Evaldi's won.
Cole does that, but he hasn't won. So I don't know. I don't, that doesn't do much for me. If it happened, I don't know.
We came into spring with that roster. We're not going to be unexcited.
Be a unique feel.
The bullpen could be great. Yeah, weird. Okay. Number 6 from 13, Aaron Carter 13. I don't know if his name's Aaron. He's getting Soto, signing Christian Walker. Jose Leclerc, first time we've seen that name. 2 years for 13.
I originally had him on my list because I do think he has the arm talent. He pitched in World Series games. He could be a high leverage guy for you. The Yankees bullpen and Matt Blake, we trust to coach. I audibled to Mike Soroka because that felt a little more sexy Yankees. We can tap into something there, but I had Leclerc on my original plan.
Is he a free agent?
Yeah.
Okay. Trade Jose Trevino for Adrian Morejon. Was once the youngest player in Major League Baseball when he made his debut. For one of the Cardinals lefties, Ramiro or King. Okay. I don't know how to wrap my head around that.
Right. It's
You're going to get 2 relievers for Trevino?
It's if the Cardinals value. He's saying one of them, I think, right?
Well, he's saying Adrian Morejon and then one of the lefties.
Is Morejon on the Cardinals?
I think he's saying Trevino in a trade for either Morejon or one of the Cardinals.
So Morejon, I
okay.
believe, is on the Padres.
Yeah. So
He's trying to trade Trevino for a lefty reliever, which is not insane.
yeah, that's fine.
If a team likes Trevi, this is kind of the Trent Grisham thing. The money that you're paying Trevi to be one of your 80-game-a-year catchers compared to the price tag for a reliever, there could be something there.
Trade for Mike Talkman as a 4th outfielder.
Okay, now I know why Beebs put this in here.
I don't think that's needed.
Return of the King,
They don't need a 4th outfielder.
Mike Talkman.
Yeah. This plan doesn't have them. Oh, it does have them moving off Grisham, but I was about to say this one has.
He wants
Grisham
Talkman for Grisham, and I respect that.
What's Talkman going to make? Well, they're trading for Talkman.
Right.
Grisham for Talkman, straight out. That's what this guy wants to do.
Problem solving.
Figure out second base in spring training between LeMahieu, Durbin, Birdie, Cabrera.
Okay.
I will say this one reads more like a final product that like Cashman and the Yanks might do because it's way less than the rest.
Yes.
Payroll's around 290, so you leave yourself $10 million available. You got a position battle in spring training in the infield. You got yourself 3 relievers and Soto and Walker. Like, you know, in theory, that is a lot in the offseason compared to the Yankees' minds when you let them wander. So it looks like less. But
yeah, and I mean, this is, you know, they didn't list out the Soto signing here. That if that was item A, it looks a little more
yeah.
filled out.
Well, compared to the last 2 we read.
yeah,
Just like tons of moves.
no crazy trades.
Yeah. I like it started, though. Okay, last plan. Number 7, Jason Bartholomew.
Bart.
Subtractions. DJ. Just eating his money? Okay. Stroman. You're going to eat 4 to 5 mil, so you're going to get someone else to pay 14 to 13 mil for Stroman. Nestor, both. Interested to see what his additions are. Birdie, Mesa, Trevino, Grisham. He's subtracting everyone, basically.
Gotta go.
Okay,
Every non-stud.
everyone's gone. DJ is a weird subtraction because you don't lose money. So he just doesn't want a
It's
shot.
a roster spot.
I know, yeah, but you
know?
can do that in spring. Resign Soto and Tim Hill.
Sure.
Sign Max Fried, Paul Goldschmidt, Michael A. Taylor.
Snuck on my list.
Fried is going to get like a big contract. 5 years, 25 mil a year. That's what Fangraphs has it at.
He's another
Feels like a starting place.
another 5th or 6th year. It's going to depend his contract, but yeah.
Paul Goldschmidt is like a 1 or 2 year deal, right?
Yeah, probably one.
Why don't they have Fangraphs doesn't have him? Fangraphs doesn't even have him?
I see him. They're projecting a 1 for 14.
Oh, he's not in the top 50. You got to toggle down.
Yeah, so I
Damn.
filtered by first base to find him.
1 for 14, Michael A. Taylor. Or similar, Talkman.
Defense first outfielder.
And then he's trading for Ryan Helsley from the Cardinals and Alec Boehm from the Phillies.
Okay, so he didn't list out how.
How,
That's
yeah.
okay. Part of me respects that.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
It's 2 trades.
Basically, their solutions on the corner are Goldschmidt and Boehm. A Goldschmidt could be in play.
I actually think he
It
very much
checks a lot of those Yankees boxes, right?
sounds like a move they'd do.
The one for 14 sounds like a higher price point than I would have. That would guess.
He
if
signed
ends up a
former
Yankee,
MVP Paul Goldschmidt.
Sounds like another unsuccessful move they do at first base.
A little bit.
Not to knock Goldie, but it's just like another Band-Aid amongst the stack of Band-Aids since Teixeira.
If this was a book, it feels like the next chapter.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's Paul Goldschmidt.
And let's do this again.
Max Fried, I mean, hey, man, there's some numbers with Max Fried that he has been one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Fields his position.
One of the best lefty pitchers in baseball. I mean,
Max Fried is so good. Why is he not going to get
I have
money?
If I did a Fangraphs reaction to their projections, I think they're pretty low on Max Fried.
Yeah, I do as well.
Because of some injuries last couple of years. Like, I don't think anything crazy.
No.
What does MLB trade rumors have him as? They have him as 6 years, 156. And Fangraphs has him as
closer.
5 years, 125. So I lean Baseball Reference more.
In the Rodon range.
I mean, the lefty pitcher who is fucking nasty, dude.
30? Like,
Yeah.
that's when you get paid.
Yeah. That's a big signing, Max Fried and Soto. I don't know if they're going to do that. Like, I think they do Soto, and then they need to keep the books short, like 3-year deals, so they can reset. Having all this on the books, they're going to need to reset other places, especially with Judge, Cole, Rodon on the books for, the next 4 years.
Yeah.
And Stanton on for next 3. I think they're going to try and build the team so when that Stanton money comes off after 2027,
That's their next.
all the money they add now also comes off.
Yeah.
So that's why I think you got to go. If you go get Soto, you're looking at a bunch of 2-year, 3-year guys that are going to be here for 25, 26, 27. And that's your next run.
Yeah.
And then they'll do it again and see where they're at.
Yeah. I guess in my head, Goldschmidt, realistic. Fried, that's another. So let's say we're talking 14 mil for Goldschmidt. Let's say Fried lands around 25. I mean, I know they got rid of some money up top, but if you're trading for Helsley and Bohm, there's money there unless they thought DJ was part of a salary dump, that I don't.
I think in this he's finding some way a team takes on the money, which doesn't. Until it happens, I'm not calling it possible.
Yeah, I don't think that's out there.
Before we even get to his no trade clause in the whole deal.
Yeah, the starting pitching thing is interesting because I don't know what they're gonna do there.
I mean, either they could do nothing. Like, you didn't have them doing anything. A lot of people don't have them doing anything.
That's what the money game you played. I'm kind of in the same boat that.
I think they're going to do something. I think they're going to go get a 2-year guy, a 2-year vet.
You'd like to think that Stroman or Nestor's not going to be on the team next year.
You'd like to think, yeah, just
like
if
one
they
of
are.
them. Like,
I think they want another. I think they want another vet, 2-year deal, come in like what Kluber did for Michael King. There was such value there in teaching to the young guys. You have Clark, who's always learning and cocky as shit. And confident, said in a good way.
Right.
Keel's young.
There is.
And then you got Nestor doing his own thing. And Stroman, like between the 4 of those, I can count on 2 of them having great years. Rodon and Cole need to do it.
Right.
So then there have been injuries and just like.
Hopefully Clark's elevated himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough for me to picture Stroman or Nestor breaking camp with the team.
I agree.
And
Stroman in our head seems like the safer one because he did throw innings last year, 154, a 4.31. That if he was a free agent, we've done this math before, he'd probably get 10 mil, 11 mil. That if the Yankees are willing to eat something or take a little bit of money back, that's the easiest way for them That's the easiest way for them to open up the board a little bit.
Yeah. So if you're still listening, comment of all the new people that, our listeners added to the list of, 2 people went and got Bohm. We had a Max Fried signing. We had Arenado. We had Alonso. We had a Luzardo trade. So some new people, Polanco, Doval trade, D-Rob, Devin Williams trade, Kikuchi signing. Any names that we didn't say in our episode that just got said, who's your favorite amongst them?
Hey, Kikuchi, I'm kind of like, okay, whatever.
Listening.
I'd love to bring in a Japanese player.
Yeah, well, they go to California now.
I know. We need to stop that.
No, East Coast gets all the Dominican guys. That's why Soto, he's between the Yankees and the Mets, and all the Japanese guys are between California. They want their families to be able to watch, time zones.
Yeah.
Easier trip.
I guess before the internet, Matsui didn't give a shit. Call you when I call you.
He was still he was watching internet type movies.
Oh,
That's true.
in his basement. If you know what we're talking about, comment below. Comment Haduki's porn collection. He's proud of it. It's no secret. See you guys later. We'll be back. Go Yanks. Tell him, Grams.
Go Yankees.